वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तमलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। We will continue Bhashya. सिद्धस्तर्हि सर्वाश्रमिणां ज्ञानकर्मणोः समुच्चयः न मुमुक्षोः सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासविधानात्। पूर्व पक्षी वृत्तिकार is a samuchayavadi. According to him, jnana karma samuchaya, a combined performance of jnana and karma, is the means for moksha. Samuchaya is of two types. One is called krama samuchayaha, another is called saha samuchayaha. Krama samuchaya means you perform one after another. Then it is called krama samuchaya. Both are not performed simultaneously. Initially you perform karma, then attain chitta shuddhi. After chitta shuddhi you take to jnana, then you get moksha. That way karma as well as jnana have their own respective places in the pursuit of moksha. It is called krama samuchaya. We need karma yoga also, we need jnana yoga also. Therefore, we are not refuting krama samuchaya of jnana and karma. But the Purva Pakshi is in favor of saha samuchaya. Both are performed simultaneously. The same person has to perform jnana and karma together. Being in the same lifestyle, being in the same ashrama, he is performing jnana and karma together. That is what will lead to moksha, according to Purva Pakshi. That is what we are refuting. Therefore, Shankaracharya is saying, Mumukshoha sarvakarma sannyasa vidhanat. Mumukshoha, for a mumukshu, sarvakarma sannyasa is enjoined in the Shastra. And in favor of this statement, Bhashyakara is quoting from various Shruti as well as Smriti. पुत्रैषणायाश्च वित्तैषणायाश्च लोकैषणायाश्च व्युत्थायाथ भिक्षाचर्यं चरन्ति तस्मात् न्यासमेषां तपसाम् अतिरिक्तमाहुः न्यास एवात्यरेचयत् न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः ब्रह्मचर्यादेव प्रव्रजेत् इत्याद्याश्रुतयः. He quoted from some Shrutis. So one is from Brihadaranyaka-upanishad. Putraishanayascha vittaishanayascha lokaishanayascha vyuthayatha bhikshacharyam charanti. In some books you will find only vyuthayatha bhikshacharyam charanti. Yeah. Vyuthayatha bhikshacharyam charanti. So, for the sake of Atmajnana, the mumukshus, the tivra mumukshus, we have to make a distinction. This is for a tivra mumukshu, one who is intensely yearning for moksha. Therefore, he is ready to commit himself to jnana full time. A full-time pursuit of Atmajnana. He is ready to do it. Then sarva karma sannyasa is allowed. He can give up all karmas and he can dedicate himself to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana all the time. So, putraishanayascha vittaishanayascha lokaishanayascha vyuthaya. Turning away from the three eshanas, giving up the three eshanas, giving up the three eshanas means he gives up pursuing them also. He doesn't pursue putra, he does not pursue vitta, and he does not pursue loka. No materialistic pursuit. All materialistic pursuits are dropped. Likewise, all the karmas are also dropped. He gives up all vihita karmas also. Following the proper injunctions of the Shastra. There is a proper way of giving up. And then bhikshacharyam charanti. They lead the lifestyle of a bhikshu. Bhikshacharyam charanti. So this is sannyasa. So this is from Brihadaranyaka-upanishad. Likewise, we find many other Shrutis also. Tasmat nyasamesham tapasam atiriktamahuhu. So nyasa is the greatest form of tapas. Nyasam, nyasa means sannyasa, tyaga. It is the greatest tapas. Esham tapasam atiriktam. In this section of the Upanishad, this is from Taittiriya Aranyaka, 10th section of Taittiriya Aranyaka. So there, many forms of tapas are enumerated. At last, after enumerating various forms of tapas, finally, the Shruti talks about sannyasa. And then the Shruti says, sannyasa is the greatest form of tapas. Thus, sannyasa is glorified. And in the same section, there is another statement, Nyasa evatyarechayat iti. Nyasa evatyarechayat. Nyasa, sannyasa is, sannyasa excels, most superior. So this is a glorification of sannyasa as a means for Atmajnana. न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः इति च. So this is found in many places, even in Kaivalyopanishad. Na karmana, karma does not lead to moksha. Praja does not lead to moksha. Praja means progeny. Dhana does not give moksha. Then what gives moksha? Tyagenaike amritattvamanashuhu. Tyagena, by means of tyaga. Eke, some people, very few. It is not easy to do tyaga. That is why Eke Amritattvamanashuhu attained moksha, attained Amritattvam. Iti cha. So these are one more. Brahmacharyadeva pravrajet ityadya shrutayaha. We have read this. Brahmacharyadeva pravrajet. So this is another Shruti Vakya. Jabalopanishad. Brahmacharyadeva pravrajet grihadva vanadva. So all these Shruti Vakyas are in favor of sannyasa. They are in favor of sarvakarma sannyasa for a mumukshu. So these are Shruti. Ityadyaha Shrutayaha. All these are Shrutis. Then Smritis. He is quoting Smriti Vakyas in favor of sannyasa. Tyaja dharmam adharmancha ubhe satyanrite tyaja ubhe satyanrite tyaktva ye natyajasi tatyaja samsaramiva nissaram दृष्ट्वा सारदि दृक्षया प्रव्रजन्त्यकृतोद्वाहाः परं वैराग्यमाश्रिताः इति बृहस्पतिः कर्मणा बध्यते जन्तुः विद्यया च विमुच्यते तस्मात् कर्म न कुर्वन्ति यतयः पारदर्शिनः इति शुकानुशासनम् इहापि सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्य इत्यादि. So he is quoting from Mahabharata. Tyaja dharmam adharmancha ubhe satyanrute tyaja. Dharmam adharmam cha tyaja. Give up both dharma and adharma. So dharma refers to vihita karmas, the karmas enjoined in the Shastra, and adharma refers to nishiddha karmas. So this is for a mumukshu. Give up both dharma and adharma. Give up both vihita karma and nishiddha karma. Means sarva karma sannyasa. Ubhe satyanrate tyaja. And give up both satya and anrata. Both truth and lie. Falsehood. Means don't identify with even with the action of speaking truth and lies. Give them up. And ubhe satyanrate tyaktva. Having given up both satya and anrata. Yena tyajasi tatyaja. Yena, by means of which you have given up, give that up. By means of which you have given up is the kartrutva. I am giving up. There is a kartrutva. The giver identification. I have given up. Even that is a problem. Therefore, give up that also. Give up the identification of being the giver. Giver up. Yena tyajasi tatyaja. So sometimes people keep talking about themselves. I have given up this, I have given up that. So there is a giver up, abhimana, pride of being a renunciate. Give up that also. Yena tyajasi tatyaja. Samsarameva nissaram drishtva saradidrikshaya. Samsaram eva. So this is about akritodvaha. Akritodvaha means one who has not married. A brahmachari. He has completed his education, his brahmacharya life, and it is time to accept garhasthya. But then he understands. At that point of his life, he understands. Samsarameva nissaram. Samsara is nissara. Generally, people think there is some sara in samsara. There is some sara. Sara means some happiness, some meaning, some point in pursuing the samsara, the material sources of happiness. But this person understands samsara is a nissara. There is no essence, no meaning in samsara. Even the samsara is as good as nissara. We think there is some happiness hiding in the world. That is what we are seeking. I will find some happiness, some sara. Maybe in some relation I will find happiness. So far it has not happened, but still I am trying. In some relation I might find happiness. Still samsara has some sara for him. So in something I will find happiness. In some place I will find happiness. If not in India, in America. If not in America, in France. He is searching. The seeking continues. As long as you think there is sara in samsara, the seeking continues. Until then, they don't become mumukshu. He is not a mumukshu. If there is samsara in samsara, then he is not a mumukshu. But when he understands samsara is nissara, there is no real happiness in the world. The material sources cannot promise any happiness. When he understands this, he becomes a mumukshu. Samsarameva nissaram drishtva. Understanding that the samsara is nissara. Saradidrikshaya. To attain the sara, to make the life meaningful, to find essence in life, to find meaning in life, to find fulfillment in life. Param vairagyamashitaha. And they have paravairagya, great vairagya, intense vairagya. Param vairagyamashitaha. With the intense vairagya, pravrajanti. They give up the world, they give up the material pursuit and take to sannyasa. Pravrajanti means take sannyasa. Iti Brihaspatihi. This is from a work of Brihaspati. I don't know which work it is, but it is written by Brihaspati. This word is from Brihaspati. Maybe some smriti attributed to Brihaspati. I don't know which Brihaspati. Karmana badhyate jantuhu vidyaya cha vimuchyate. Karmana badhyate jantuhu. A jantuhu, jivaha, an individual gets bound by karma. Means karma leads to samsara, furthering of samsara. Vidyaya cha vimuchyate, but by means of vidya, he gets moksha. Vimuchyate. Tasmat karmana kurvanti yatayah paradarshinaha. Tasmat, therefore, paradarshinaha, those who know the truth of the world, means people who have clarity regarding the truth of the world, means vivekinaha ityartha. Paradarshinaha means vivekinaha. They know very well where they can find happiness and what means will lead to happiness. Such people karmana kurvanti, they don't do karma, they devote themselves to jnana. Iti Shukanuशाsanam. This is Shukanushasana. So, it is a statement by Shukadeva. It is in Mahabharata, Moksha Dharma. Ihapi, and here also. Here means in Bhagavad Gita also, Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya ityadi. Sannyasa is supported in Bhagavad Gita also by statements like Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi. We have already seen the reference of this shloka earlier. Therefore, because of these Shruti Vakyas and Smriti Vakyas, it is very much evident that Sarvakarma Sannyasa is enjoined as a means for moksha. And by implication, we can understand that Samuchaya is not the means for moksha. If Sarvakarma Sannyasa is the means for moksha, then definitely Samuchaya cannot be the means for moksha. So it is one reason why Samuchaya cannot be the means for moksha. The Shruti itself talks about Sarvakarma Sannyasa. Then he gives another reason why Samuchaya cannot be the means for moksha. Mokshasya cha akaryatvat mumukshoho karmanarthakyam. Mokshasya akaryatvat. Moksha is not a karya. Moksha is not a product. Moksha is siddha. It is already there. Your swarupa. Your swarupa is moksha. You don't produce moksha. Therefore, mumukshoha karmanarthakyam. A mumukshu does not require karma. Karma does not have to serve any purpose for a mumukshu if he is a tivra mumukshu. If he is not yet ready for jnana, then karma is useful for him as a means for chitta shuddhi. But if he already has chitta shuddhi, then karma does not have any role to play in his pursuit of moksha. Because karma cannot produce moksha. Because moksha is not a product. Therefore, mumukshoho karmanarthakyam. This is another reason. Mokshasya akaryatvat. Since moksha is not a product of karma. So, now Purvapakshi is raising another objection. Purvapakshi agrees that karma cannot produce moksha. But then he has an understanding of nitya karma. You have studied in Vedanta Sara that there are 6 types of karmas. 6 or 5? 5 types of karma. What are they? Nitya karma, naimittika karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma, prayaschitta karma, and upasanam. Totally 6, right? Yeah. So 6. Among them, 1 is nishiddha. The rest are vihita. So vihita karmas are 5. Among them, what is the definition of nitya karma? Akarane pratyavaya sadhanani. Karmani nitya karmani. Akarane pratyavaya sadhanani sandhyavandanadini nitya karmani. Nitya karmas are the karma which produce pratyavaya if you don't do them. If you perform nitya karma, you don't get any phala. By doing, you are not getting anything. Then why you have to do it? If you don't do it, you will get pratyavaya, a kind of papa. Pratyavaya. Pratyavaya is a papa incurred by non-performance of nitya karma. So this is a concept about nitya karma. In fact, Siddhanti does not agree with this. Nitya karma, non-performance of nitya karma produces pratyavaya. We don't agree with it. It is Purvapakshi's view. That is why even that definition in Vedanta Sara, it is not as per Vedanta. It is according to Mimamsaka. According to Mimamsaka, that is the meaning of nitya karma. But according to Vedanti, it has a different definition. So now, Purvapakshi, he is trying to bring Samuchayavada in some other way. He is trying to justify. He says, if a mumukshu gives up all the karma, whether a mumukshu or a jnani, if he gives up all karma, that means he is giving up nitya karma also. But giving up of nitya karma will lead to pratyavaya. He will get pratyavaya if he does not perform nitya karma. Therefore, even a mumukshu who has taken sannyasa has to perform the nitya karmas that are enjoined in the Shastra. Then what will it imply? Karma jnana samuchaya. Even a mumukshu who is taking to jnana has to perform karma. If not other karmas, he has to perform nitya karma. Therefore, jnana karma samuchaya is inevitable. This is Purvapakshi's idea. We will read. Nityani pratyavaya pariharartham anushteyani iti chet. Nityani karmani, the nitya karmas, anushteyani, they should be performed even by a sannyasi. What for? Pratyavaya pariharartham, in order to avoid pratyavaya. Iti chet, if it is so, Purvapaksha, then Siddhanti says, no. And Purvapakshi argues into Siddhanti argues into different ways. Siddhanti answers Purvapakshi into different ways. First of all, in his first answer, the Siddhanti accepts that non-performance of nitya karma gives rise to pratyavaya. This theory of Purvapakshi is accepted for time being. Then Siddhanti answers, even if you accept pratyavaya because of non-performance of nitya karma, even then you cannot justify jnana karma samuchaya. That is one answer. And how you cannot justify, we will see. And in another answer, Siddhanti refutes the theory itself. Nitya karma, non-performance of nitya karma gives rise to pratyavaya. This theory itself is wrong. Siddhanti will answer. Therefore, your objection itself is incorrect. There is no basis for your objection itself. This is another answer. So we will see. Na asanyasi vishayatvat pratyavaya praptehe nahi अग्निहोत्राद्यकरणात् सन्यासिनः प्रत्यवायः कल्पयितुं शक्यः यथा ब्रह्मचारिणाम् असन्यासिनाम् अपि. Any other reading? यथा ब्रह्मचारिणाम् असन्यासिनाम् अपि. That much is enough. यथा ब्रह्मचारिणाम् असन्यासिनाम् अपि. This reading is better. No, it is not correct. Your contention is wrong. Why? असन्यासी विषयत्वात् प्रत्यवाय प्राप्तेः. Even if you accept pratyavaya by non-performing of a karma, even then the pratyavaya is applicable to only the people who are supposed to perform that karma. Suppose I am supposed to perform a particular karma and I don't perform it, then I am supposed to get pratyavaya. It is like one who is supposed to pay income tax. If he is not paying income tax, then he will get penalty. The income tax will raid him and whatever, they will sue. And who is supposed to pay income tax? One who has income. One who has income has to pay income tax. If he doesn't pay income tax, he will be penalized by the government. But then there are people who don't earn at all. They are sitting in the ashrama. No income except 100 rupees. For 100 rupees income, you don't have to pay income tax. Bhandara income. So those who don't have any income, if they don't pay income tax, they will not get any penalty. They won't get income tax notice also. Likewise, a sannyasi who is not entitled to perform any karma, even if he doesn't perform any karma, there cannot be pratyavaya. Then who will get pratyavaya? One who is supposed to perform the nitya karma. A grihastha. If a grihastha does not perform nitya karma, then he will get pratyavaya. Therefore, na asanyasi vishayatvat pratyavaya praptehe. The pratyavaya prapti, it is asanyasi vishayatvat. It is only in relation to an asanyasi, one who is not a sannyasi, because the nitya karmas are enjoined only for asanyasi, not for a sannyasi. Nahi agnihotradyakaranat sannyasinah pratyavayah kalpayitum shakyaha. So this is asanyasi vishayatvat pratyavaya praptehe. It is sangraha vakya. And Bhashyakara is explaining the sangraha vakya. Agnihotradi akaranat. By non-performance of the nitya karmas, like Agnihotra. Agnihotradi are Nitya Karma. Tesham akaranat, by non-performance of these karmas, sannyasinaha pratyavayaha kalpayitum na shakyaha. One cannot imagine pratyavaya of a sannyasi. One cannot think of pratyavaya of a sannyasi. And Bhashyakara gives an example which should be acceptable even to the Purva Pakshi. The example is a brahmachari. If a brahmachari does not perform Agnihotra, will he get pratyavaya? He will not get pratyavaya because he is not supposed to perform Agnihotra. In fact, he cannot perform Agnihotra. A brahmachari is not entitled to perform Agnihotra. Then if he does not perform, he won't get pratyavaya. Similarly, if a sannyasi does not perform any nitya karma, he will not get pratyavaya because he is not supposed to perform any karma. Yatha brahmacharinam asanyasinam api. Just as brahmacharis, asanyasinam api, though they are not sannyasis, yet if they don't perform Agnihotra, they will not get pratyavaya. Similarly, a sannyasi, if he does not perform nitya karma, he will not get pratyavaya. So this is first answer, and this is with an assumption that nitya karma, non-performance of nitya karma, gives rise to pratyavaya. So such argument is called abhyupetyavada. Abhyupetyavada means for time being you are accepting Purva Pakshi's theory. And even if you accept that theory, your contention cannot be justified. Such answer is abhyupetyavada. Now he is coming to the real Siddhanta. And the real Siddhanta is akarana, non-performance cannot give rise to pratyavaya. Because why non-performance cannot give rise to pratyavaya? Because non-performance is an absence. And the absence does not produce anything. Absence cannot produce anything, any presence at least. If something comes into being, it can come only from a presence, not from an absence. Absence does not cause anything. That is the argument. Na tavat nityanam karmanam abhavadeva bhavarupasya pratyavayasya utpattihi kalpayitum shakya yukta cha na tavat nityanam karmanam abhavadeva. From the absence of nitya karma, nityanam karmanam abhavat bhavarupasya pratyavayasya utpattihi. The utpatti, the origin of pratyavaya, which is bhavarupa, which is a presence in nature. Pratyavaya is not abhava. Pratyavaya is something positive in nature. It is a papa. It's a kind of papa. It is bhava rupa. From abhava, a bhava rupa cannot come. Kalpayitum na shakya. It is not possible to speculate the possibility of pratyavaya, which is bhava rupa, which is a presence in nature, from the absence of nitya karma. Na shakya, na yukta cha. It is not logically tenable also. Yukta cha is there in your book? No. Okay. Na shakya is enough. That much is enough. Yeah. Katham asatas sajjayeta iti asatah sajjanma sambhavashrutehe. Why it is not possible to imagine pratyavaya from absence? Because even the Shruti says that from absence a presence cannot come. Katham asatas sajjayeta. How can sat come from asat? How can presence come from absence? Iti asatah sajjanma sambhavashrutehe. From asat, sajjanma is impossible. It is told in the Shruti. Asatah sajjanma asambhava. The impossibility of sajjanma, the impossibility of the birth of sat, the birth of presence from the absence, is mentioned in the Shruti. Yadi vihitaakaranat asambhavyamapi pratyavayam bruyadvedaha tada anarthakaro vedaha apramanam ityuktam syat vihitasya karanakaranyoho dukkhamatra phalatvat तथा च कारकं शास्त्रं न ज्ञापकम् इति अनुपपन्नार्थं कल्पितं स्यात् न च एतदिष्टं तस्मात् न सन्न्यासिनां कर्माणि अतः ज्ञानकर्मणोः समुच्चयानुपपत्तिः यदि if so Purvapakshi Siddhanti is showing the problem in the contention of the Purvapakshi. Absence of nitya karma, non-performance of nitya karma leads to pratyavaya. Where is it told? Where is it told? Absence of nitya karma will lead to pratyavaya. What is the pramana? We have to ask the Purvapakshi. Then Purvapakshi says, Veda is the pramana. The Veda itself says, if you don't perform nitya karma, you will get pratyavaya. Where has the Veda told it? Veda does not directly say this. Veda does not directly say non-performance of Nitya Karma gives Pratyavaya. Then Purvapakshi will say that the very injunction imply that. The Veda asks a person to perform Agnihotra. Yavajjivam Agnihotram Juhoti. There is a vidhi. Yavajjivam Agnihotram Juhoti. Vidhi is there. But this vidhi does not have a phala. The Veda does not say what phala you will get by performing Agnihotra. But the Veda is asking you to perform Agnihotra. But there is no phala for that. Then we have to understand that not performing this karma is going to give Pratyavaya. Therefore, the Veda is asking us to do the karma. This is Purvapakshi's answer. The very injunction of the Veda to perform Nitya Karma by implication reveals the Pratyavaya of non-performing. But then we have already shown the Purvapakshi that it is logically impossible. Pratyavaya by non-performance of Vihita Karma is logically impossible. We have shown this to the Purvapakshi. Then the Purvapakshi might say, though it is logically impossible, the Veda is interested in making you work. The Veda is interested in making you do the Nitya Karma. Therefore, the Veda talks about Pratyavaya. This may be Purvapakshi's argument. The Veda talks about Pratyavaya because it wants you to do Nitya Karma. Then Siddhanti says, in that case, the Veda is interested only in pushing a person to do karma. It is interested in making us do such a karma that is not going to be of any benefit to us. By performing the karma, I am not going to get anything, no phala. And by not performing, I am going to get Pratyavaya. What is the use of making me do such a karma? If the Veda is making me do such a karma, then Veda is anarthakar, because it is just interested in punishing me. And there is no use of such a pramana which causes only anartha, which only causes undesirable result. In that case, Veda will not remain a pramana. If it is not going to tell me what is beneficial to me, then the Veda is not a pramana. Instead, it is only a karaka. It will just become a dictator which is only interested in making me do certain activities. यदि विहित अकरणात् असंभाव्यम अपि प्रत्यवायम ब्रूयाद् वेदः, यदि if vihita akaranat, by not performing vihita karma, asambhavyam api pratyavayam, the pratyavaya which is asambhavya, pratyavaya which is logically not possible, vedaha bruyat, the Veda says, then what will happen? Tada anarthakaro vedaha syat. Then Veda will become anarthakara. We are blaming the Purvapakshi. Your statement, Veda talks about Pratyavaya. By implication, what you mean? You mean this. Veda is anarthakara. Vedaha anarthakaraha ityuktam syat. In your words, by implication, you mean to say that Veda is anarthakara. It is a disastrous, because it is only interested in making me work without any purpose. And apramanam ityuktam syat, and it will also imply that Veda is apramana. Veda is not a valid means of knowledge. Veda is anarthakara because it is making me do work without any purpose. If I do it also, I am going to suffer. If I don't do it also, I am going to suffer. Therefore, Veda is anarthakara. See, he explains how Veda is anarthakara. Vihitasya karanākaranayoha dukkhamātra phalatvat. By performance as well as non-performance of vihita karma, I am going to get only dukkha. Dukkhamātra phalatvat. If I do it, I am going to suffer the smoke, etc. Performance of nitya karma is going to make me suffer. Without any result, I have to tolerate the smoke, heat, and so many things. And non-performance will give me pratyavaya. So, either ways, I am going to suffer. Therefore, Veda is anarthakara. Instead of giving me a desirable result, it is going to be disastrous. And if the Veda talks about something which is logically impossible, then Veda will not become pramana. It is talking about something which is logically impossible, illogical. Abhavad bhavotpatti. In that case, it will lose its pramanya. It will become apramana. So, being apramana, it is commanding me to do an action. Then, according to Purvapakshi, Veda is just a karaka. It is just a dictator which makes people work, and it will not remain a pramana anymore. Tathacha karakam shastram. Shastra will become karaka, na jnapakam. It will not have the status of a jnapaka. Iti anupapannartham kalpitam syat. And this this is not acceptable either to the Siddhanti or the Purvapakshi. It is Anupapannartha, untenable meaning, untenable purpose of the Vedas. Kalpitam syat. It will end up in this kalpana. It will end up in this implication. If Purvapakshi's contention that Nitya Karma, if it is not performed, leads to Pratyavaya is accepted. It will imply all these things. Shastra is anarthakara and Shastra is not jnapaka, Shastra is karaka. All such ideas are not acceptable. They are anupapannartha. Nacha etadishtam. This is not acceptable both to Purvapakshi and Siddhanti. Purvapakshi has not thought about his own words, where it will lead. Now we are telling him, this will mean this, which is not acceptable to both of us. Therefore, give up your contention. Tasmat na sannyasinam karmani. Therefore, sannyasi does not have karma. Ataha jnana karmanoha samuchchayanupapattihi. Therefore, jnana karma samuchchaya is not tenable. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.